Hey, this is a run through on how to make a branding of the Canby online and retail clients. So there's two ways of downloading the UI kit, which is the base for the brandings currently. One way is to use Abstract, which is our versioning system for design. Kind of works like GitHub, but for design documents, for our sketch documents. And here's the page with all the projects, and we will actually grab the UI kit. There's one here called branding, but that's where we upload it later. First we go to the Betty UI kit and to the master, and here's where you always can find the latest version. We'll look at another place to download it as well, but this will for sure always have the latest version. And the UI kit consists of all these files, but they might not be needed for your project. Let's just have a look. Canby UI kit is the base file. That's where you will spend most of your time branding. This one you can forget about, the deprecated designs. This is where we put things that no longer belongs to the UI kit, things we don't use anymore. The icon library. Well, there could be a reason for using it, but you can't really change the icons, or we don't let our customers provide custom icons yet. So in certain cases, you might want to go in here and change the color of the icons, because it could help you in some cases. But I'm not going to do so much with it right now in this video. Media assets. That's where you have our promo cards for the landing page. Racing. That's where we keep horse racing and greyhounds, and that's not so often used by our customers, so you might not need to use that one. It's highly likely you won't need this at all. And then the retail products, and that one you'll use in every project that contains our retail products. All right, so let's download a few files. So we want all of these. So we go in here and I click, just control click, and choose export. Just make up a folder somewhere. We could call this demo project. Download, it will launch that. I'm gonna grab this one, the media assets I'm gonna grab this time. And I'm gonna get retail. Another way of getting these files would be to go to betty.canby.com. That's the home of our UI kit documentation, or our design system documentation, and go to UI kit and download. That's the latest public version will be in here. Oh, okay, I already downloaded that. Double download. All right, so you will get that one. And if I would be, I need that one, I need two. So if I would expand that one, that will give me all of those files. So, you know, that was quicker, but you know, there could be one more recent version, but you probably know if there is one. So yeah, you can go this. Be pretty safe to go this way and download from Betty. So let's get rid of one of these demo projects and let's focus on this one for now. Let's have some brand guidelines to use for this project. So this might look familiar. This is our fake brand guidelines. So that could be useful for this project. So first we would go in and change the name in these files. We don't need these numbers. We'll do want to keep that as the retail file, and then I switch out Canby for Better, which is the name of the operator. So here, just go in. Oops. Better. Now it's time to upload these to Abstract. So let's go back to projects. Now let's get into brandings. So we're going to create a new branch. So we just create a new, it's going to become an empty branch in this specific project. So we just click here, call that project or the branch, we call it Better. Also write it as a demo project so we know where it is. And then I'll go into files and I want to upload our files. From here, so let's just do that, drag and drop. So now let's see. Some of these are going to be used as libraries. The media assets file for sure. The retail file, no, but the UI kit is going to be used as a library inside the retail file. So let's import these now. Abstract has been a little bit sensitive lately, so I'm going to make sure that these files upload properly before I do anything else. I'm just going to let them sync on the server. It might take a little while. Once we have uploaded the files and they're all up to date, we need to check that the linkage is right, and we do that by control and click, press control key and click manage libraries, and I go into check that everything is properly linked here. So I'm not going to change the icons. I'm not going to care about in this case to change the linkage on the icons, but for the media assets I want to link it to the Better UI Kit media assets and apply changes, and we're going to look at it updating and then update some more. So here's where I would make sure to wait until it's updated and this icon is green, and that goes for every update we do of each file. It's a little bit time consuming, but I noticed that if I don't wait, I'll have a problem with the linkage and the files won't be properly linked together. So we're just gonna wait. That file is up to date. Let's check the linkage of the media assets. Once again, I control and click to manage libraries. This always says .sketch, but I know for a fact that it needs the main UI kit. So I link that because it contains all the colors that are linked. Once again, we need to make it update, so we'll just wait. So that's done, and let's see for the retail UI kit. It needs the main UI kit. And I'm not going to care about the icon library. So we're up to date and everything should be properly linked now. Just go and double check. That one's linked. That one is linked. And so we're up to date and we're ready to launch the main UI kit file, and we do that always from inside Abstract. Click Edit and Sketch, and it will open up. Let's start with a run through of what's in the UI kit. Here's the welcome screen with the logo. It's not really used for much. We use it, I guess, as a poster screen in InVision, so it has, I guess, some value. The colors page has all the brand colors, single colors, colors for our sandwich filter, some gradients belonging to the sandwich filter, and also some other gradients, some grays, and some contextual colors which are used in some special places, like our live red, some different kind of promotions like Odds Boost and Teaser, etc. Background colors. Then we have all the different components mapped out. A few screens. We have the controls, which are all our button types. Lots of buttons, some call them, we call them outcome buttons. We have default and selected state and suspended, which is kind of like a disabled state. The CTA button, which we usually have on best slip, that's the place bet button. We have the cash out, which is a function where you, if you want to cash out your money from a game before it's ended, before it's settled. We have the contain buttons, which are fairly new. This is the content artboard of the components page. It has the main headers with the different states, also This is how it looks when the three first one are how they look when they're open, and it's slightly different when it's closed because all the four edges are rounded. We have the subheaders, different states, and list items of different kinds, desktop and mobile, and some other kind of markets or list items, scoreboards. Some of them are quite old actually. Maybe sure they're used anymore. Betting markets for outrights, mobile and desktop. More detail of the cash out. There's some statistics. We have my bets, and of course on the my bets page for desktop and mobile, and a quick view of the promo cards, which we will go into more detail because they're in another file, the media assets file. Let's go over to the next artboard, which is widgets. It's a little bit trickier style, but these were initially made by another company, so they're coded in a way that's a little bit iffy. You can control some of it. We have some headers. We're now on the navigations page. Has some headers. That's the back button. We have the tabs. That's how it looks when the tabs don't fit, and if there's an overflow. We have the sports navigation, which could be icons only or icons with text. We have the mobile bottom navigation. We have the sandwich filter, the sidebar that you have on mobile. Well, one is for mobile, one is for desktop. In the mobile one, you just have if you don't have the bottom navigation. And there's a drop-down menu, and then there should be at least one other page, and that's communication, some one alert, and we have some toaster messages. And over to patterns, and we see some desktop patterns, some different situations on the bet slip. And we have two different versions of this bet slip, compressed, so it's slightly smaller than the other one. Here's some different bonus options on the bet slip. These are all scenarios that the developers like to see because we need to go in and style these. Some error states. Some other little situations. Search. That's it for patterns. Layouts. A while to load. So this will be some desktop layouts here. Go down a little bit. That's nice. The landing page is another sports pages. The end page. These are all the components put together on some example pages, my bets, the settings page, like a maintenance screen, maintenance message, and of course we have mobile screens, they're just next to it. It's pretty much the same screens, but mobile breakpoints. And then of course all the symbols on the symbols page. scattered face. And then this one is just where we keep the version number of this version of the UI kit, and also a reminder that you can go in and read the change log on this specific page of the Betty site. So let's get started. So it will start here on the colors page. So why don't we set the colors? It's pretty easy, and I think the fastest way to do it in Sketch is to use this little palette tool. So let's start with the primary color. Let's go back to those brand guidelines and let's check. Okay, so the primary color here, I had the hex code, so I'll just copy it, and I'll go into the 500 color of this one, and I'll set all the swatches. And what we can then do is just going in here and color pick from that tool swatch. And now I have to watch out because these are also some of these colors are connected to color variables. They have this little purple marking here next to the color swatch in the right column here. So for these we need to go in and choose edit variable, and then we're gonna actually edit the layer style and the color variable at the same time. So just choose edit variable, then we pick the main color, and then also that's going to become a solid color, and this is a color pick it and not pick up the alpha value. And just select update, and that will update the layer style and the color variable at the same time. So we just go to the next one, and so on. Oops. Excellent. Then let's get to the secondary color. Once again, select the main 500 color. Oops. And change it. And it's the same thing for the secondary color. They are all connected to a color variable. So let's just do this same style editing. So, and onto the accent color. Colors connected to color variables. Just edit that one. But then the other colors are not the rest of these, so these are a little bit quicker. Let's just pick these. So the thing with these that are just set with, you know, layer styles is that they don't update automatically. So we need to update them, but I just like shift command click all of them, all of these 8, and just update them all at once. So now they're done. You know, they're not italic, they don't have a little star, so they're up to date. And if they're not up to date, you know they might work within this document, but other files that use this as a library file won't have access to those updated color values as long as you don't update them here. So it's very important that you update the colors. So the main colors are done. Let's say a good thing here would be to save. Well, I just kind of by routine just did a command S. But of course, you know, well, really tell that, but after that's done, you need to commit the change to abstract. So you click this little commit button down here, and you write a little comment on what you have edited, so that you know if you have to roll back. If something goes wrong, you can always roll back. That's the good thing with the versioning system. So, okay, edited brand colors. Let's commit that change. I'll update. You can keep on working. No worries. So, signal colors. Some customers change them, some use ours. It's you know, a little bit depends, but just notice that these are also connected to a color variable. So if you want to update them, these signal colors, use the edit variable. But I'm not going to care about these for now. So now we're on to the sandwich filter, and I'm going to show you what that is. The sandwich filter is this filter we use on the landing page and several other pages. You can now see also that some of these colors have already transferred into the UI kit. All the or many of the primary, secondary, and accent colors have already been mapped. But we want to set the sandwich filter, and let's go and do that. We're going to go in here. So we're going to start with setting up the could be up to 4 layers of the sandwich filter, and I mean, you can do it in different ways, but we're gonna use this original setup, which is using these tints of the primary color. So I'm gonna color pick. Actually, I can actually take all of these 4. So I just shift command and clicked all these 4 layers, and now I'm gonna go up and see what color I want to pick. Actually, gonna not use the 500 color I think is a little bit too light, so I'm gonna use the 800 version. And then as a base, and then what we do is we want this to be 90% opacity, this to be 80%. So we're creating these tints, and it's now using opacity, and that works because it's against white, but we need to make these colors solid. So we do that by, not the first one because that's what we want, but the second one. Then I go in and I click the color, use the color picker to pick it again, so to speak, and then it will become a solid color without alpha. So we'll do the same with the layers. So now that's done, but we need to select these again and update them, update the layer styles. Then we can go and watch the color filter, the sandwich filter here. So that already kind of works. But you see here's like a little gradient here on the overflow that does not work. Let's go in. Let's have a look at the sandwich filter and some more details. So here you can see some more things that concerns the sandwich filter. You have, well, first of all, we use arrows on desktop, but on mobile we have no arrows, just the gradient. You can also see here you have, well, that's just for desktop, but this is the hover state, and this is, you know, the clicked or selected state of these little buttons in the filter. But we want to go in and change these gradients, and we had those on the color page. So they are going to be different for each layer. So I'm going to go in and pick this color, then go in and select this first gradient, and that goes from 10% of that color to 90% of that color. You just need to change the hex, and the alpha will stay. So that's going to be done. We can go into the next one, and that goes the same way. And what I do is I do one setting for the start and one for the end. So I have to click the end marker here and just set that again. And these two are the same, and they are just 90% of that color. So you can actually just set that. We're done, and all these need to be updated. So I'm gonna, so we're done with that first layer, I'm gonna update these layer styles. And then we'll select the second one, and you kind of see how this goes. So we're gonna fast forward from here. we're actually using the same gradient for the promo card, so I set it here as well. So I'm gonna just use that dark one. We can try with that and use that for the promo card gradient. It's a little bit different. It goes from 60 to 0, and we have another retail widget that uses this top screen. That's a little different setting on the gradient. I set that as well. Oh, and update those, of course. Oops. And a look on the components page. And now you see that this is a thing that didn't work. So these arrows would be the hover states, and I didn't really set those correctly, so I'm gonna go back and fix those. So these I just set to same color, but we're gonna go a little bit darker here. So what we do is actually we go in. Oh, I already changed. It's like usually that would be in RGB mode, but I'm gonna go into HSL, which is hue, saturation, and lightness. So we're gonna change the lightness by going -4. Let's do -4 here. Do that calculation. Become a little bit darker. Update those. We go same here. Go a little bit darker. Go a little bit darker here. Update and a little bit darker here. That'll be fine. Okay, so now you see there's a little darker on those hover states. That's gonna be fine, and the white text worked in this case, so we don't need to change that. But if we would need to change any of this, you can just go into that component and change the color of the tab, or change the opacity of the kind of the background, ellipses, and yeah, it's all there. So that works. That's fine. I think this would be a pretty good time to save again. And to commit to abstract. So now you have your, main color set. You might want to change something here. Some of these were already connected to the color variables, so they changed. I will actually change this. I'm gonna show you where that shows up later, but here you also set kind of what kind of color we use for live. That's pretty common. It's some kind of red. Also for some special boosts and bonuses has specific colors that could be set here. I'm just gonna care about this one. I'm gonna select. It's also color variable, so I'm gonna do the edit variable, and I'm gonna pick this dark version of the primary. That's gonna be fine. And keep. Oh, but I want to keep it at 80%. It's a little bit see-through. And update that. So I'm pretty happy with this for now. So we can go into the next thing. We'll see what we have in the style guide. Let's change the logo. So in the online client, we actually don't own the header area. That belongs to the operator site. But when we do a branding, we put in fake header just kind of to create more of a context. So we usually ask them to get logo in vector format to put here. And for retail, we do have our own header and we do need their logo, and we only accept vector formats. But let's get into the header and let's exchange this Cambly logo for the operator's logo. So let's get into the style guide and see. They have a few options. I think I'm gonna get that one with yellow and white. Let's get that one. So it's this one. Yep, seems to be that one. Just drag drop it in there. Lock the proportions. And just scale it. And I'm just gonna make it fit. And it's gonna be pretty huge though. So I'm gonna go in and delete the old Cambly logo, and let's go and see how that went. That's pretty huge and not in the best place. I go into that header symbol. I'm gonna go and lock the proportions again, and then I don't know. That could work. It's more realistic. I have to check that it's centered vertically. Lock it 50. So this is the logged in and not logged in version of the header. There's also mobile headers, so I actually go here to find them. So yeah, that's huge for mobile. That's not gonna work. Let's go into that symbol and let's see what can we do. Lock it to 10. Yeah, something like that. Center it. Lock 10. Center. That looks better. Better looks better. Okay. Probably a good save point. So I'm saving the file and I'm committing to abstract. A little description and off we go. So the next thing we want to do is taking care of the fonts. So in this case, this customer used Montserrat, and I happen to have that installed in my system. Otherwise, I usually, use Fontbook, and I make a little collection for the customer because it's easy if you want to shut them off and turn them on and so on. And then we use the Fontly plugin. So what I usually do is going into the symbols page and do the search and replace for the fonts. Sometimes there's a problem with updating the layer styles, but I do have a little workaround for that. but let's see if it goes smooth this time. What I usually do is with the first font, I go find it in menu to kind of see how it's spelled and formatted. Okay, so that was, I wanted to exchange Roboto Bold for Montserrat Bold. I just copy Montserrat and go in and swap that, and then just double checking the drop down that there was a matching name, and there was. So do the same for regular, double check that, it's there. So not all fonts have medium. Sometimes they have semi-bold, which is similar. You can use that, and some fonts do not have neither medium or semi-bold, and then you just have to use bold. So now I just replace all these fonts. Take a few seconds. Now I need to double check if the layer styles are updated, and they are. And that usually works best from the symbols page. So now you see we did create some problem, and that's because it's a wider typeface. So we want to go in and correct all these places where things have gone a little bit tight. So that could be a whole lot of places, but I usually go from the components menu and kind of check, oh yeah, there's a bunch of little things that needs fixing. So I'm just going to go in and nudge things wherever I see they're not working. And go into the symbol, go see, make that slightly wider. How's that? That does. Now, I mean, these are not pretty, so this would actually be a little bit time consuming maybe to fix, but I'll probably go in and do that because it's just drive me a bit nuts to see it like this. Try to find a way to maybe I just go to the let's go something approximately. I mean, it's not like the developers will look at this and recreate that specific error, but it's not so nice when we show this to the operator and it doesn't look good. How many pixels do we use here? 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe? And you will of course have to do the same thing for the desktop pages. So a little bit more nudging before we're done. Okay, yeah, fine. So something like that. So a lot of these little fixes. Actually, I find this really annoying when these kind of UI kit texts get updated. So I usually actually take a couple of extra minutes and set these back to Roboto. So let's see what more needs fixing. This doesn't look good. Let's see here. Line marker doesn't really fit. Also, the vertical center seems to be a little bit off. Oops. Something like that. Oh, this needs to have the sides changed. Better. What else? Little details like these. These are usually get a little bit pushed. So it's better. Green was maybe not best color for that star. Let's see where that component's at. Oh, there's maybe just pick something else here. Let's maybe go for the signal color yellow. Oops. Stuff that looks wonky. Here's the little things. I don't know why that didn't look right. And also, I think these are kind of for tennis, etc. So I don't think that green is that beautiful. Maybe just pick orange or that yellow here. Take that single yellow again. These here a bit messed up. Doesn't matter how many times I set this thing, it always falls back when it's a wider typeface. For some reason, it seems like this setting get switched. That's better. That's a little tight. Set up, I guess. Start. Ooh. These should probably align with that button. So. That's it. These are not correct looking. They're supposed to look like that, but these are too big for some reason. Here's another one that doesn't work. So just changing it to auto would help. That helps. Ay, ay, ay. It's my bet items. Oh, you see there are these little details that get messed up. Like live, and this little mini scoreboard doesn't perform right. It's because live does not fit in there. Oh, wait. Oh, there you go. Oops, my. There we go. So, just need to be bigger. Maybe change something there, I don't know. But, here's probably where I want to check with the baseline, stuff like that, I guess. Let's look at this one, go into that symbol as well, because it doesn't seem to be perfectly centered, and then kind of, we can do something like this. Is that okay? Yeah. Should probably be a little wider. Does look good. Oops. It's gonna do it. Let's see. This is set up. That's better. So, but there's probably gonna be a whole set of those. I'm gonna double check that these are good. Maybe they're centered there. Actually, something like that. Details, details, details. So we do have the mobile version of this too. So need to fix those little details here too. Oh, here we go too. See, there's a lot of little things that happens when you have a wider typeface. Wait, there's not something here. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, that's done. Looking good. Yeah. Still some fixes needed. Once again, minor things. So change the size of those things. They need to. Come on. That needs to be a little wider. Yeah. That's fine. See, these are also not, they don't fit, so just change them to auto width. And now, these two. I was too keen on these. They are a little bit tight. So I think I'm gonna go in and see. We need to go into the find the kind of root of these and just make them a little bigger. Maybe actually make them slightly bigger. See what ramifications that will have on the buttons. No, that worked good, but let's see what happens to this. To the landing page here where we put them. No, not. No. think they haven't updated the size yet. Yeah. So I guess that has a mask, then we need to fix that too. That one won't matter, so but that's more. It's kind of huge. Why is that? This is weird. Okay. Now it's about time to get those promo cards changed as well. So let's go into abstract and let's load the media assets file. And we immediately see that we have some updates coming in. And those are the color changes from the main UI kit file. And voila, those will be picked up right away. So we have the desktop promo images and the mobile ones. And we have to do a typeface change here first. So let's just use Fontly again. see how that worked. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do some nudging here. It's a bit wide. Actually, might go down a little bit in type size. So here's a case where that color didn't seem to update. So let's see if we have updated that in the UI kit. That could be the case that it's not updated. First of all, yeah. Not sure that color update came through. So let's reset that again. And we should be able to receive those changes. There we go. Big. speed up. So let's save this one, update. Oh, actually, we could do, let's look at how the colors are set up. So we colorize all, we have hundreds of images in our promo card archive. So hundreds of sports images that we supply, like stock images that we supply for each and every customer, and we colorize them using an image magic script. So it's done on the server. So kind of, when we set up these, we have this formula that we need to keep, and that's created from light color, a dark color, and then a little gradient on top, so we can kind of look at how this works. And these different blend styles are actually on the folder. So we have a black and white image, put dark overlay as a screen, and then we have the light color as multiply. Then on top of that we put a little dark gradient, so the text will be more visible. So we can change that, these colors, as long as we keep this same method. So let's just save these and commit them. And after we've done that, we can go back into the main UI kit and just gonna go up to the landing page. And we need to accept these changes. You see, you're gonna get the new promo cards. And voila, there we go. I mean, I still see a few things that we could probably fix. This orange color is not according to the operator's brand, is it? Oh no, it is. Oh no, not that one. I wonder how that orange would do. And they're orange. Oh, actually. Accent 500, should look at that. It's not that pretty. Probably shouldn't use this color as it's not in their brand, so maybe set this just to white. Choose a white color. Works. That can work. So that's pretty much it for the online client. So this customer also has retail, so let's take care of the retail part as well. So let's get back to abstract and load the retail file in Sketch. And if everything has been properly linked, we should have an update here. And these are all the color changes we made. So I'm just gonna accept this update. And some things are a little bit wrong, and we have to go in and fix that manually, but I get to that soon. First, let's take a look at the different parts of the retail UI kit. So the first page is the retail self-service terminal, which are the big betting machines where you stand up and bet like an arcade game machine. You'll find these at casinos, mostly in the US. And all these products have some kind of splash screen that will show when the client is loading or when it falls asleep. This is the SST auxiliary screen, and some of these terminals, self-service terminals, has a top screen. So they have two screens, the main screen and the screen that goes on top that can have some extra information, or it can also, it's touch screens, you can also touch, like push buttons, etc. It could also just house some advertising, I assume. Then we have something called digital signage. These are big screens with rolling ons that are placed in the casinos. And we have something called the over-the-counter terminal, which is just a handheld device like an iPad that a clerk at the casino uses, and a customer can come and place a bet at the clerk using this machine. But we only have a splash screen for this device. That's the only thing we designed. So let's get started with the self-service terminal. So first of all, for the self-service terminal, like 90% is the online client, the stuff we already have designed. But there's a few extra elements, and those things are in here. We have the header, which is our retail header. And we have, of course, the splash screen. We have a couple of overlays. You see they have a little, semi-transparent background. So if you press all sports, you get this menu. That's an overlay. You have the search comes as an overlay. You have this sports page as well. And well, this is kind of a regular list view, but you see the retail numpad. So these are touch screens, so you need a little slightly larger numpad for inputting the odds. And they usually have a pin bet slip, so they'll be the kind of the same as in online. If you press the little pin symbol, it will get pinned like this on the side. And then some information screens like this printing receipts. So let's get started changing some of the things that's not correct. So I think we could start, well, this thing is, remember we changed size on these? Just have to go and set to the original size, and it will correct itself. We can change a few little things, like this one is actually the orange, so I go and I use the UI kit, main UI kit colors, operator colors. We use the accent color for that one. Let's see that this hasn't received the right color, and that's primary 500. It just hasn't updated, so just go in here and select the primary 500. What else? The same thing with the selected outcome button. Let's go select that again, and we'll perceive like that green. A few more things. We can do the color things first, then here, this one. See that? Same here, as an updated on these ones. Maybe that one. That's the same. So I'm just going to select all these. All those. And I'm going to go in UI kit color variables and select the primer 800 here. That's fine. I'm going with the same as for the icon. Go back. That looks fine now. Here, swap that blue, so go into that object, go inside that symbol, and that's done as the inner shadow. So I'm just going to select, once again here, just select primary 500 color variable for that one. Looks fine. I mean, I probably should have fixed these ones too. You see they're a little bit tight. So, I mean, we could do that later, but I'm not going to care about it now. We just noticed that the chips are very tight. Good, looking good. This one has inherited the color correctly. So that one's fine. I think before we go on with other screens, we're going to fix the typeface. Let's do a save. Anything goes wrong from here. So first saving, then committing to abstract. So what do? We colors. So there's some places where we still have roboto, like here probably, yeah, and a few other places. So it seems like the only way to have, replace the fonts and have them updated correctly would be to go into the symbols page and do the font find and replace from here. It's actually the same with the main UI kit, but kind of realized that today. That seems to be the way that actually makes it better, or makes it actually work. So same as before, just copy that, double check. Oh, we know that these work from before, so I'm going to place these. Place the fonts. Oh, see right away that there's a little clash. You can go in and something like that, I think. It'll be good. I'll go back here and see that. Looks good. And we see that it's updated. No, it doesn't have a text out, so it's a terrible thing to compare with. Go. That one is broken, so I'm gonna do auto weight on that one, so that one kind of corrects itself. You kind of look at the text and see that nothing's breaking. It looks a little bit bad when we show it to the customers. Really well. Can't see anything breaking. Yeah. Yep. So that is fine. How about swapping out the logos? Let's go into the logo. And for retail products, there's some retail products that we don't need to design more than picking a logo. So for all retail customers, we ask for a white logo, a black logo, and if they have a color logo, we want that as well. It has to be in vectors so we can make it turned into SVGs, because that's what we use for all our products. Because, you know, these are vectors, they're scalable, they look good. So let's get our better logo types in here. The white one. What this one is? This white. Yep. So I'm gonna lock it. I'm not gonna make the symbol bigger as I did in the UI kit. I think that became the main UI kit. It just became too large. It's like this. Then I'm gonna vertically align it. I'm gonna remove can be logotype underneath. Kind of that from the beginning, I guess, but I don't know why I felt like I needed it. Just input the black one there. Black in here. We should do the same. Oh, whoops. Let's lock it first. Position it. And okay, so vertically center it. See what the color logo, and I'm gonna opt for the one that's white and yellow. I think it's gonna work best for us. Lock it 226 and vertically centered. So let's go back and see how that looked. Okay, that's nice, but let's see. Maybe actually we should have another background color for the top bar here for the menu. I'm gonna go in and select from the link main UI kit, get our colors, operator colors. I go for a little bit darker version of the primary. How about that? Well, let's do it. And let's do the same for this. Or actually, let them get their primary color. After all, it's their primary color. So we do have that as a color variable. You can actually find that from the main UI kit. I'm picking that. But then I want to use also the color logo type. So I'm going to replace this, and I happen to know that it's in this document under retail assets operator logo color. And that's, I mean, I kind of like the proportions of that. Customers usually wants everything big, but I think this looks kind of stylish. Just gonna make sure it's centered properly. It is. So I'm gonna be happy with that. So I think we're done with the self-service terminal. So let's save. Commit. Well, I guess famous last words, right? Done. Then you go back and tweak it 3 more times. Actually, I already found something I wanted to tweak. What about using the color logo here? Let's do that. Let's go in and change it. Document, retail, assets, operator logo color. And let's see how that turned out. Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if the operator would want that a bit bigger though. Let's see what we can do. Change the height for this one. Let's do that. Yeah. It's a little bit awkward positioning of the logo, and I think that's another thing we have decided actually, and we have to look into that. I think it's identical to how it look in the Camry client, but it's a bit weird, to be honest. Can't defend it. Okay, let's go on. Let's look at, actually, since we changed the splash screens, let's do that for all of the products. We can do that, it's very the same. Go in here, and that primer 500 saved, and we swap that logo. Let's make sure it's centered. Let's go into this one that was huge here. Actually, let's go back here. And the other one was set to 400. Let's do that one 400 as well to match. And okay. I don't know. Maybe 400 feels small on this one. Let's go. Find a middle ground, 500. Center it. Let's get into it later. Same here then. What? I got lost. Retail. Assets. Operator logo color. 400 is fine. See that? Default is 250. 512 is common, but I think 400 looks good. Still. Alright, we're done with the splash screens. Let's get along with the top screen, the auxiliary screen. So I think most things look good. It's just this blue color that hasn't updated properly. Let's go ahead and fix that. See what we're going to use instead. I think I'm going to go in once more. Yeah. So for that one, we can use a color variable. Just click the purple thing again. And we're going to have, let me try this green. Yeah, I think that worked. I think I saw one of those. I'm gonna use the green for the other things too, and I saw those were okay. There's some neighbors here. Change those too. Signage 500. Let's get back. Let's check. We have one more place to fix those ones. Let's do them as well. 500, yes. Catchy. Very eye-catching. Maybe too distracting. That could be a question if they're too eye-catching, maybe. That could be argued for sure. So good saving point. Going to save that as what do we do? SST AUX and splash screens. So good. Well, you can write whatever you want, but something descriptive is good. If you have to roll back, you know where you were. Okay, now we're coming to digital signage. And here it's a bit special because we changed the fonts, but for the digital signage product we cannot change the fonts. So we need to switch it back to Roboto, and that's why I made this little style sheet within the UI kit just for this one. So I'll just select all these symbols or all these little text objects, so I can update the text styles for these and make them all Roboto. And if they were not updated correctly from the beginning, we're gonna have a problem. It's gonna work. It doesn't seem like they work, which is really annoying. Again. Let's see, did it change back? Let's double check. I don't think so. But this is really annoying. Yeah. They're still. That's not pretty sound. If they would have updated properly from the beginning, which would have been really nice if they did. Thank you, Sketch. We could have easily switched these back, but this doesn't seem to work as wanted, which is super annoying. And now it's all about going in and kind of just switching all these. No, I can't do that because they're not all text objects. Okay, just go in. Switch it back to Roboto. A little bit of extra work, but now awesome to be back to Roboto, which is good. Then I'm going to change this logo. Usually if you have a color logo that works in the header, that's kind of what the operators usually prefer, so I'm going to use that whenever possible. Swap them all. I just select them all at one time, and so if you want to tweak the my color's actually not based on anything specific that they have. Maybe we should switch this one for their accent color actually. Let me use that one. Maybe I'll do that. Connect properly. Why does not really really connected properly. We can go in and maybe however, I will keep some kind of yellow because that's for tennis and it kind of feels right. It doesn't make yellow or orange since it's for like a tennis ball color. But let's first see if we can do that color, and then for that little tennis dot I'm gonna do, we can keep that yellow I assume, but we could also go in and see if we have the warning yellow. I did have that, so I'm gonna use that actually. And go back. I would have said yellow. It's probably nicer, but now we have used that also in the top screen, so I'm gonna go with that. Green, but I mean it's more about picking a color that within the company guidelines. Actually, I'm noticing here also we do have the different row backgrounds. And those are reflected here, and what are they based on? They're based on those, which is black, but it's actually a background color of these documents. That's what I need to change. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna do the background as a dark primary, and I'm gonna see these change to more of a purple color. These line overlays are just like dark transparent lines. And let's see, same for this one. Switch to background color to 800. So SST or well, DS. Do the signage done. This one is already done, so I think we're happy with retail products. I'm just gonna save it and commit to abstract. What we're gonna call this? We're gonna say we're gonna call it so now it's time to get these designs into InVision. So I will go in here to InVision, sign into my account, and I would create a prototype, and we just use a desktop prototype to not split it up, so we just use one for all, and I'll just give it a name. And I will start setting up some sections in here. We can do splash screen. This is going to become the poster screen for the project. Let's keep on with the retail stuff later. Let's upload everything from the main kit first. So first of all, We want this splash screen. It doesn't seem like it's centered anymore. Nope, wasn't. I don't know what I changed, but actually can just remember to save that. Might be some more changes, so I'm just not gonna upload it just yet, but I'm gonna upload it to InVision. So I'm gonna select my craft plugin, select an existing prototype, which is Better Demo Project. I'm just gonna upload, well, actually it could be all, just one here. Upload it. Put that in here. I could hide that. And then when we look at it, this is going to be the splash screen. So let's go back in, add some more. We have the colors. Yeah, we just need that page. Let's just do that. Components. Let's start this upload. Oh, we're gonna have all these pages, so just select all artboards. I can go in here and take this one, chuck it into colors. We'll see how this one is doing. Start going in here. Let me check this screen. Actually, didn't fix these ones in here, so I'm gonna do that. Oh, sorry. Let's see what this is all about. This seems to be an extra. Oh, only cheap. 110. Alright, good, we found those. I'm gonna go back here to check. We have some new SST components. We can either drag them to components, of course, or we can select move. We will end up in here. As we go further down, it's going to be kind of harder to move them. Just drag drop them. But now we're going to get all the patterns in here. Yes. Like that. Still realize the headers here are in Montserrat, but at least they look good. Patterns are all done. Let's move them to patterns. We want, now we have the layouts. So here, let's see, actually, if they are using the mobile bottom navigation, they will not have this menu, but some operators cannot use our mobile bottom navigation, and then we have to kind of change this and show this alternative method. But actually then we also have another header that we probably should add that has a hamburger menu for switches for launching this, but for this one, I'm not gonna care about this one, but we're gonna for the version with the menu drawer, but we want all other mobile layout pages. So I'm just gonna check here and see if I can select them actually through the left menu, because it'll be a bit quicker, maybe not. So let's take except for the one on the sidebar, I'm gonna go everyone that has mobile in the name. This should be all those, and then upload only the selected artboards. Publish. So they're here. They're already here. You can select all of them and and select those and move them into mobile layouts, and then we can take all the other ones. Our desktop and here, select them all, move them to desktop layouts. And this is promo cards. I actually like uploading the promo cards. You can see them all in here. So media assets. Let's just get them all in there. We do need everything but that little I need that last one. So we'll upload these. Also, once again, select artboards. Okay. We need to select that one again because we're in another file that doesn't know that this one is connected to the project. And select artboards. Going those to the promo cards. I'm going to do the mobile and desktop promo cards all in one. So upload these two. These two promo cards in there. Good. So now it's time for the SST stuff. So let's get to the SST file. It's still in here. Retail. Yes. So the retail projects, let's start with the SST. We want all of it. Once again, we need to select the prototype to upload to all the artboards. Let's go for it. Move it to the retail SST, and then we need to set up some more. Let's look at what we have. So we have the SST AUX screen. So let's just call that retail SST AUX. Upload all of these. sorry. Untitled AUX. So what I'm gonna do for now. Yeah, we didn't create digital signage, so let's do that. Retail signage. So digital signage, just we need that one, and we need that one. Not that little UI kit that's not really that useful for our developers. So upload done. Move to digital signage. And something more, yeah, over the counter. It's just a splash screen, but let's get that over there as well. Oh, the counter. There we go. So that should be it. Our project's in there, but now we do need to share it with the developers, and we will need to share it with the customer. So edit the share links. Here it's pretty common that we would add Team Cirque. They're the main dev team for brandings. I would add them. You will also add, you know, me, maybe some of the other designers if you need, whoever you're working with or need feedback from. So Magnus or Kenneth. So that will create a internal link that we can use, and then, well, I'm gonna add them just for now. Team Cirque. You might wonder what I'm doing because you're gonna get a notification, but just to show how this is gonna work. And then we want to generate a public link. So we'll generate the link, and we might as well, because this might be a secret project, we just make up some kind of password. And done. So there's a Jira for the project, and you will need to get this public link and the password, put it in the top section of that Jira as the share link, and then there's the internal InVision link, and that will be, well, I guess you can use this URL, but that will only work for people who has access, which in this case would be Team Cirque that you added to the project. I guess all of us other designers with full rights would be able to access. So that pretty much concludes this part of the UI kit.